Don't let anybody tell you that's enough cheese.
Welcome back to Not Your Mama's Cooking Show. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we're gonna make macaroni and cheese.
So I'm gonna start with making a gluten-free baked mac and cheese with sharp cheddar and goat cheese. Yum.
And I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna make my macaroni from scratch, and then I'm gonna follow that up with making a beer cheese blend with Gouda, cheddar, and Parmesan. And then I'm gonna top it off with some pork belly.
I can't wait.
Let's get started.
We're gonna start grating the cheese. So I am using sharp cheddar. I've always used it with my baked mac and cheese and it's never let me down. And I'm trying something different, adding goat cheese. All right, now let's get to cheese grating.
Cheese grating party, woo!
It's the only kind of party I attend.
Ain't no party like a cheese grating party.
You're using the
I'm using
man grater.
The man grater. Rawr, I'm man, look at my cheese grate.
Use the cowbell. Need more cowbell.
I got a fever. And the only prescription.
It's cheese. 15 ounces. It's a little more than what most recipes require. Most recipes for a half a pound of macaroni will call for 12 ounces. The cheesier for me, the better. So I'm gonna add extra cheese because I think I deserve it because I'm doing a gluten-free macaroni.
Yes, and you definitely deserve extra cheese. If you guys didn't know at home, it's important that you grate the cheese from a block instead of buying the shredded cheese, because the shredded cheese, they put some sort of powder coating on it to keep it from spoiling quicker. So I think it's like some kind of starch, and that would affect how your stuff comes out. So you don't want to do that. Fun fact of the day.
Thank you, Matt. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody tell you that's enough cheese. It's never too much cheese.
Got my cheese all grated up. Today I'm gonna be making a mac and beer cheese with pork belly. Pork belly is gonna take the longest, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that started first. Start by sprinkling table salt. The more pepper, the better. It creates this crust. I'm gonna go throw it in the oven. It's gonna be a 425-degree oven, 30 to 45 minutes. I'm gonna start making the dough for my noodles. To start, I'm gonna take 2 cups of all-purpose flour. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take 2 whole eggs and 6 egg yolks. Put them into my flour. I need to create a little bowl. I wish I could be the guy that could do like the one-handed egg crack. All right, now my eggs are in place. I've got this flour egg volcano. This is the way you're supposed to do it, and you're just supposed to scramble the eggs in with the flour very gently. But eventually what happens is it will start attaching itself to the flour. And you can see it slowly adding to the egg in the flour. Eventually it gets to the point where I think it's good enough, and I just let it implode on itself. Oh, there it goes. I knew that was gonna happen. No, not the eggs. Oh well, I did most of it right. It's always fun to do. And there you have it, pasta dough, even though it doesn't look like it.
So I'm gonna start with taking 3 tablespoons of butter and I'm gonna melt it in a pan. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of mustard seed. This is the only recipe that I use this mustard seed for. And then I'm gonna take 3 tablespoons of gluten-free flour. I'm making a roux where the butter meets the flour. You wanna get this free of lumps. It'll start to get a bit frothy. Now I'm gonna add 2 cups of milk. cream. I diced up half an onion, it made me cry. I'm gonna add those in now. Half a teaspoon of paprika, and my dried bay leaf. And I'm going to take the whisk and temper it all in. Let this simmer for 10 minutes. While that's simmering, so I'm going to take 1 egg. I'm gonna do Matt's trick and try to do it with one hand. Yeah, I'm gonna just use a fork and temper it, like so. We don't wanna add that in quite yet. We wanna make sure we let that sit for 10 minutes.
This nice, cohesive, solid dough ball. Cut it into 6 to 8 even pieces. Roll them into little dough balls. This fancy tool that we got from Amazon, this uses pure person power torque. So here we go. This one came out funky. I feel like this handle is gonna break. Hey, that looks pretty.
Yeah, that looks good.
I like that.
It looks like macaroni.
Yeah. All right, we're getting somewhere. So we're giving up on the pressing method. So this is what I normally do when I make my dough. I just take it, I roll it out, then I fold it into thirds, then I roll it out some more. You get a pizza cutter and you just kind of roll it out. Get it all up in here, get some flour coating going on. I just want to sift out any extra flour.
Our water's reached boiling temperature, so now I'm gonna add in the pasta. I'm adding in elbow pasta made by Bonanza, which is a gluten-free company. These are made out of chickpeas. Boom. We'll let that boil for about 10 minutes. This is my goat cheese and extra sharp cheddar. I'm going to put about 3/4 of it into my mixture. And the reason why it's not all of it is because we want to save some for the top of the macaroni. And that egg that I tempered, that I had put aside, I think it's ready. I'm going to mix it in. And I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. And a little bit of salt, a teaspoon, or eyeball it. There. And now let's mix it all together to make this glorious, cheesy dish. You gotta put your body and your soul into your cooking. The way that I've done it is I take the macaroni and then I'll just put like a layer. In the first layer, I'll pour this on, put another layer on, pour like most of this on, and then on the top layer, pour whatever's remaining and then sprinkle this on it. And then it melts and then you put the breadcrumbs on.
It's about 3 tablespoons of butter right there. We're gonna add our flour. And I'm gonna add my salt. All right, that's looking like a roux. Now I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of this beer mustard. Now I'm gonna add my 3 cheese blend into my roux. Start mixing that together. The secret ingredient of my beer cheese is Newcastle brown ale, or any kind of brown ale. I think a stout would probably be good too.
It's been 10 minutes and my gluten-free elbow macaroni is done cooking. I'm gonna take a Pyrex dish and macaroni, and I'm gonna do these in layers or sections. So I'm gonna create like a base layer, or my first layer. And then I'm gonna take my cheese sauce, pour it on the first layer. covered my first layer of macaroni with cheese. I'm going to create the next layer. And then I'm going to take the cheese that I had saved, sprinkle it on the top. Taking my panko gluten-free breadcrumbs, and I'm going to sprinkle them on top of my macaroni evenly. There we go. Now we're gonna pop it in the oven for 30 to 45 minutes.
The beer cheese is just about done. The water for my noodles is almost ready. I'm dancing now. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slice up the pork belly. I'm gonna put my pasta in. It's cooking quick. So that'll just take a couple minutes. I'm gonna put my pasta in my beer cheese. Gotta add the pepper. Experimental mac and beer cheese for the first time on Not Your Mama's Cooking Show.
Now for the moment of truth.
It seems like it took all night, but it was a lot of fun to do, a lot of learning experiences. In the end, I wish I would have not even bothered with that stupid pasta maker thing. Amazon's getting a review for that. The stuff that did come out came out looking pretty good. It smells delicious. Sarah's looks amazing.
Amazon's getting a great review for the panko gluten-free breadcrumbs that I ordered.
But the pork belly came out good. Now it's time for the moment of truth. Let's start with mine this time.
Okay.
I want to see what kind of concoction this ended up being.
That looks juicy.
Give me more noodle.
That looks glorious.
Ah!
Good, that's your line, glorious.
It tastes glorious.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. The pastas are different shapes. All right.
I want to do one more. I just want some noodles. It was really good.
Wow. Wow.
Like you can taste the brown ale. It's a little bit of sweet. And the mustard. Add it. You can taste like a hint of mustard in there, but mostly the cheese is light too. It's not like super like weighing you down type of cheese.
The black pepper was a great add.
Yeah, it was such a last minute thing to do, but I just went for it. But now we gotta try yours. Yours looks great.
Try it with the breadcrumbs.
It's got a nice
Let's see how this tastes. This is the first time I've made it gluten-free. I made this dish several times. Let's see what it tastes like. You're not looking too happy.
It's good.
I'm happy with that.
I like the crunch of the panko. I don't think I've ever had panko before.
It's good. The cheese is, it's heavier. It feels heavier than yours,
But-
even though yours has meat.
With the noodles, it really complements the noodles. Like, I wouldn't be able to tell they were gluten-free.
Yeah, they're gluten-free, made out of chickpeas, and the breadcrumbs are also gluten-free. We've got goat cheese in here and sharp cheddar.
Yeah, the cheese is really good. Like, the goat cheese gives it that creaminess. The panko gives it that crunchiness, and it's got the sharpness of the cheddar. Both of these dishes were glorious.
They're both glorious. Both have a very different and distinct taste. Delicious.
Everyone's a winner here.
All right, Not Your Mama's Cooking Show.
If you haven't already, click subscribe, smash that bell, give us a like.
We're gonna chow down now. Catch you on the next episode.